Hi guys, welcome to the video. So today we're talking about compensation patterns, and firstly this is something that every athlete should know about. Every athlete should know about compensation patterns, and the problem is that the only reason why athletes will have heard of compensation patterns is when they've been to the physio about an injury and the injury's happened and the physio has told them, well, this muscle is underused, it's not functioning properly, you need to do some strengthening exercises for it. So that's the only time when compensation patterns have been talked about, when athletes will have heard about it. But compensation patterns are not just an injury prevention exercise. Compensation patterns, relieving compensation patterns, are a sports enhancement exercise. It's an athletics enhancement exercise. It's sprinting enhancement, it's speed enhancement exercise to relieve compensation patterns because you're relieving what's slowing you down. And compensation patterns are slowing you down. Now, when I was previous video, I was talking about how relaxation improves endurance, and I was talking about parasitic tension, and I was talking about tension in the body that's not supposed to be there. Well, this is relevant to this, is linked with this, because compensation patterns leads to tightness, because compensation patterns leads to muscles being overused because they're taking up the slack of the underused muscles. And this is something that athletes should know about, to find out, because the body needs to work as a uniform, as a unit, as one unit, not as separate units. And compensation can really break up the firing pattern of the body and therefore kind of disconnect yourself from a proper running style. You probably, if you sprint, you know about those times when you're sprinting and it just doesn't feel right. You're trying too hard. It just doesn't feel good to sprint. Well, this is because compensation patterns might be something that's causing you a jip. And specifically for runners, I'm going to show you how compensation patterns can be so extreme that the upper body and the jaw are driving your hips. So your hips won't function without your upper body and your jaw working. So this is what I'm going to demonstrate to you now. So this is something that you can self-diagnose compensation patterns. This is a really, what I'm going to demonstrate is something that's really common in athletes and common in people, is this firing pattern, this compensation pattern that I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to show you how you can self-diagnose it in yourself. So I'm going to put my microphone down in front of me here so it doesn't crush it. I'm going to lie down in it. And the main idea is we're going to do the glute test, and we're going to see how the influence of just adding in upper body strength is going to influence our glutes. And if so, it's going to tell us a lot about the compensation pattern. So what we want to do is to relax. First of all, have our hands down by side, relax our arms, relax our face as much as possible. I'm going to lift my head just so you can hear me. And what we'll do is we're going to start with the right glute here. And we're just going to lift it up in the air, normal glute test. This is the glute test we use in the activator. So lift it up and then back down again. And then we do it again, lifting it up, back down. And what you want to do is sense how it feels, sense how it feels. Now, what we want to do is using our left arm here. And so we're going to actually just clench it up and clench up the arm completely, the shoulder, the arm, really clench it up. And then we're going to just do the glute test again, in the right leg again, lift it upwards, and then back down again, and then see how that feels. So really tense up the arm and just lift up the leg again. Okay, so now we're going to add in the jaw and the C. So we're going to tense up the jaw and really clench your teeth and clench up the neck muscles. And as you do so, clench up the arm at the same time, and all at the same time, and lifting upwards and then back down again. And sense how it feels. Does it feel different to lift up the leg with the influence of the upper body tensing up? Okay, so we're going to test up now the left leg here on this side, and we're going to use obviously the right arm here, and we're just going to lifting up the leg, just going to test up the leg first without the influence of the other. So lift it upwards and then back down again, and then we're going to bring in the arm here and we're going to tense it up. So you can't see this, but I'm tensing up my right arm, and we're going to tense up the shoulder, and we're going to see how it is. So it's lifted upwards and then back down again. Now bring in the jaw. So bring in the jaw to really tense up the jaw, neck muscles. Tense up the arm at the same time. And back down again. So sense how it feels to do either. Okay, and then that will tell you a great deal about what is doing that. So I'm just going to place the camera back on the
Bear with me.
Okay. So what did you feel? Did you feel a difference there? And if you did feel a difference, I certainly sense a bit of a difference there actually as well. So this is the aspect of when the hip muscles, if you felt a difference when it was easier with the arms tensed up or the jaw tensed up, either one of those shows either the jaw is actually doing the work of the hips or the arm is doing the work of the hips. Either one, if you've found that it was easier to lift up that glute with a worked jaw or worked arm, then you've got a compensation pattern there that needs to be fixed. It needs to be actually dealt with. Now, I'll tell you about that. If you found any difference in there, so what you might have found was actually we tested both legs. You found that actually there was easier to lift the arm up, tense up the right arm with the left glute, and you felt the left glute lifted up easier with that than it did on the other side. And you've got an imbalance there that needs to be sorted as well, because that's going to lead to injury issues as well. So imbalances, you want equal on both sides. So this is something that needs to be looked at as well. So what you have is something that's your glutes won't fire unless your upper body is working. Now, if you can imagine that, what I've talked about is compensation, tightness. If you've been watching my channel, tightness, any kind of tightness and anxiety will slow you down. You're sucking yourself of power. Each stride, if you're tensed up, you're sucking yourself of power. You cannot apply power to the ground and have a powerful stride if you're not relaxed. It doesn't work like that. And also it's sucking yourself of endurance as well. I talk about in my last video about it, in this video here, how relaxation improves endurance because it takes away parasitic tension. Parasitic tension, as I said earlier, is this kind of apnea. It's compensation. It's muscles tightened up to the function. And if your hips can't function without your upper body being tight, then how's that going to help your speed? How's that going to help your endurance? So can you see how the compensation can be so extreme that the jaw and the shoulders are driving the hips? What happens is what you should find is no difference. And what you should find is the fact that the hips, the glutes should lift up quite easily, and there's no difference between the upper body, whether you're actually tensing up your body or not. So you need to get to the function. Now, there's plenty of ways that you can actually do it. Relaxation is the key to it. If you're tensed up, we've got parasitic tension there, you need to relax. That's the one thing, stress relief. So I've got numerous videos on breathing that you can go back and watch and go and learn how to drop the body into a parasympathetic state, drop the staircase of stress. There's also the mind-body connection video that I talk about. You can get that here as well, which is a great video in terms of just getting back into your feel of your body. You just feel your body. It's kind of very simple meditation and stuff like that. So relaxation is bringing yourself into the here and now. So you're feeling your body and sensing how you feel and just accepting how you feel as well. That's one way. And once you actually do that and you bring yourself in the present moment, you'll probably find your shoulders start to drop as well. So relaxation is key to relieving those compensation patterns. That is master. Now, obviously, if you've got actually imbalances there where one side is kind of more compensating than the other, so you're actually one of your glutes is lifting up higher than the other and is compensating, your arm is working harder and actually more influenced on one side of the glute, then now you've got an imbalance there that you should actually go and get in contact with me. If you live near Taunton, Somerset, you should get into my website down there below and actually get in touch with me by email to get this sort of organise a one-to-one session on when we get back on the 12th of April. So this is something that is key to actually doing it. Obviously, my videos will help, but obviously one-to-one help is gold standard as well. So I can help you get that relaxation back in the body, bring unity to the body. The body has to move as one unit. The hip muscles, the glutes should work lifting upwards easier, and there should be no influence from the upper body when you do that, or the jaw. So this is something that you should actually recognize in yourself. That's why I say relieving compensation patterns is a sport, is sprinting enhancement. It's a sport enhancement tool. It's something that's going to make you quicker because you're relieving yourself of things that you're making you slower. So I hope that video has, it's going to tell you a little bit more about compensation. It's why it's something that every athlete should know about and every athlete should do. Don't wait for injury to happen to work out how to actually work out your compensation patterns. And also, don't rely on the injury rehab exercise, the glute hip thrusts and stuff like that. Imagine this is a mind-muscle connection issue. It's not a strength muscle connection issue. So what you're doing is, by those hip thrusts, they might work for some people. I'm not saying they don't work for some people, but think about it. This is a mind-muscle connection. And if you're actually doing the hip thrusts, what are you going to be using to drive the hips, to work the hips, to do that exercise? If you've got that compensation pattern, you're going to be using your shoulders and your jaw to drive that hips. And this is what happens when you see a lot of elite athletes in pressured situations. You see them tighten up. This is probably the compensation pattern that they have that's slowing them down. And their hips can't function unless their muscles are tightened up. That's where it goes. You will default to, if you're stressed and under pressure, you would default to your compensation pattern to function. Because you're under pressure, that's where this is a survival pattern the body uses. So when your survival pattern, that's what sprinters sometimes do, is when they come to this pressured situation, really important competition, they tighten up. And their upper shoulders, they tighten up their upper shoulders. There's possibly, not certain, but it's possibly that they have this compensation pattern there that's slowing them down. So if you live near Taunton, you should actually get in touch with me. Let's learn about it. Let's talk about it. A one-to-one session, reactivated session that will actually help you relieve yourself of this compensation pattern. Also, if you actually don't live near me, there's a couple of options you can have. You can actually go to my videos that I've already talked about. There's several on my YouTube channel. Go to the breathing exercises to bring yourself into the present moment, to relax the body. Go to my mind-body connection videos. Bring it and use them, learn about relaxation, learn how to bring it in instantly. And then also, if you're actually, there's obviously many Be Activated practitioners around the world that actually can help you as well. So if you're, a lot of my viewers obviously in the United States. So if you're in the United States, go to 3000stories.com and there should be activators that you can find on there. And also you'll learn about, on 3000stories.com, you'll learn more about Be Activated, how it will actually help you relieve compensation patterns like this as a zone 1 compensation muscle activations that actual Doug Heel will take you through. So I'm not affiliated to 3000stories.com. I don't earn any money from it. I just want to help you learn more about Be Activated and learn more about compensation and how you can actually relieve yourself of these stuff to make yourself quicker. So if you live near me, website below, get on it. Organize a one-to-one session with me. If you don't, you can also, if you don't live near me, you can go to my YouTube channel and learn about the videos on breathing, etc. Go and learn about it. There's several on there that will help you. And also, if you don't live near me, you can go to 3000stories.com, Google it, put Douglas Heel or Be Activated after it, and you'll find 3000. The website should come up. Click on it and learn more about Be Activated, how it's helped people, not just in sport, but in general life. It will help athletes as well. So just leave me to say thanks for watching and see you in the next video.